for solo bolo. Maybe like we see some top lane shenanigans. Who knows?
All right, we know G2 likes to have their fun. At least they're super confident here. So let's see what happens next game. But before that, Ginny, take it away.
Thank you so much, Lore. All right, look, that bingo is really
Oh yeah, by the way,
exciting,
chat,
but
there is
I want the bingo.
Okay, leave. Go,
I will
grab
find
it.
go. I will find
there
it,
is
and I will steal this
the
bingo.
limited edition Lost Raton Stockholm tee out if you're interested in Lost Raton
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a little bit illegal, but
You
it's
can
fine.
check it out on
Yeah.
lostratons.shop.
Thank you so much.
Pretty much like
Either.
GT's drafting game one. That was also illegal.
Whoa!
Wow.
Either way, you know what? Let's break that down. Let's look at the drafts. Let's look at this game 3 here in the series because
Shut up.
G2
You're
have
so-
really
you're
set
so-
them up very solidly
you're
with
like,
this one. And there
what
was
the
this
fuck?
one specific pick, you know, that I was looking at, Vedi, and as a serial EU enjoyer, you've seen it all at this point.
No, I certainly have. And like the drafts, there's a lot to talk about. But there's one thing in particular that really stands out. And why is that? Well, fortunately our production team have prepared for us a graphic to better illustrate what it is that I'm talking about. Can I present to the audience at home what we describe as EU Lucian?
Oh!
Lucian.
EU Lucian. It's something.
BDS.
Now, would I blame Kalist exclusively? Absolutely not. Do I think that he is the problem? No. But can we all agree that perhaps EU Lucian needs to go? Odoamne, would you agree?
Yeah, this champ is ass. I mean, so the thing is,
Well,
everyone's
Diablo
still
Lucian's kinda
dreaming of the times
crazy.
Where Lucian was this OP champion,
Yeah.
you know, you have this fantasy that, oh, I'm picking Lucian, I have Nami in my team, I'm gonna dash on the mid lane and someone's gonna die. Yeah, that's not happening anymore,
No,
you
no.
know?
Yes, someone does die, but it's not the
It's
other person.
usually the Lucian that dies, you know, but that's just, we don't talk about that. It's one of these picks where you really need a lot of time to ramp up. And honestly, I don't really blame KC for trying it because I do feel like you're in dangerous territory where you're in game 3 fearless, game 4 fearless, melee supports are out, you kind of have to start cooking, and that's why everything kind of starts going wonky, and you do need to bring out the desperate situation Lucian that, you know, it's way too desperate.
Because obviously we're having a bit of fun here, right? But we were
Shut up,
talking about
LCK,
in
Andy.
this game,
Okay, I'll
it
shut
felt
the fuck
like
up, sorry.
that KC were just very limited in their options. And especially when we see the Arakan fight that kind of just cemented the game, it felt like that it was so difficult for KC to actually really get any setups around these objectives specifically.
Well, it was more so a tale for both of these teams because I feel like when you don't have a lot of engaged tools, well, as we can see the Atakan dance happening right now, is that usually you have this team that, you know, tanks Atakan, the other one swoops in, steals the objective. But this is the first time where I see, you know, the other team taking it over. Okay, now it's your Atakan about like 3 or 4 times, you know, because at some point, KC is running to mid lane, G2 thinks
Is
that
VKS
it's just
2-0 up,
free.
chat?
Now they're jumping back in with Pantheon at the same time. So this is just to showcase that silent prio is most important. That's the biggest segue that I can say is the silent prio is just most important because we reach this point in the series where it just feels
Yo,
so
Thunder, thanks for the
incredibly
23,
hard
much
for one
love.
team to, you know, find proper ways to convert this lead because you just don't have enough tools. As we can see, the replay is still going, and that's the whole point of it, to be ridiculously long over how hard it actually is to get objectives.
Do you see the Quid Yona ult from yesterday?
Yep. Teach us, like,
Yeah, it very much felt like a dance where it's
Hey
like
Mark,
you put
just
your
want to say
left
you're
foot in,
amazing
and then
at
you put your left
Poker
foot
Rogue,
out, and then you put your left foot
and
in,
it's insane
and
that
then
you
take your
won.
left foot out, and then you put your left foot in, and then you take your left foot
Thank
out,
you.
and then you get Jarvan ulted in the face, and then you die.
Thank you,
like,
man.
it
Thank
definitely
you.
felt
No,
like
thank
that it was
you.
a dance
No,
where
thank
neither
you.
team really wanted to take that right foot
Big
in
W.
approach, right? And as Odo
Well,
highlighted,
their foot is broken,
Yeah,
they're
I know.
handicapped, they can't
Lucian's
really
win
move
rate in the
forward.
LEC
it's obviously very difficult with the composition
is
that they do have,
14%.
but in the end, it was G2 that pulled the trigger, and I
What
think
the
way they
hell?
navigated around these
That's
fights,
worse than my win rate in the
was
LEC.
ultimately better than what we saw from KC. I think the pressure, I mean, naturally, it's really on now for KC. Being in this
absolutely.
position, they're down a game. Drafting as the series
What is the win
goes
rate in the
on,
LCK?
I think has throughout this year always been a point of criticism for this team. We've often questioned, like, Kana's pool is
In
often
the
one that gets
LCK,
targeted.
it
where we say,
is
how many more champions does he have the later you go into the series? But I think that this is starting to expand across the roster, and this
In the
question is really starting to
LPL,
focus.
it
With G2, that
is
question rarely gets brought up. They've always got something. It doesn't always work, admittedly, but they've always got something prepared.
47%.
And so the question for KC is, what will they show us now that can help them get back into this series and bring us to a game 5?
Yeah, we need that creativity. We need those drafts to be on point, and they pick red side. So any specific
KC
game plan
picked
that
red.
you think here would actually allow them to.
Wait, no
utilize.
Nesquik?
Well, the thing is now we reached the
Oh.
point where the red side, I believe, is a little bit stronger just because you can get counter picks, you can get, you know, lane prio, because as we saw how important it was in this game 3. So honestly, it's a little bit more of a challenge to make the whole team comp fit, because we saw it from G2 in game 1 where they had all the options and it still fell apart. So now the question is, how much prior can you get to your picks and how much you can, navigate this whole drafting sequence to still have a cohesive team comp?
That's the question that they're going to have to answer in this game, because this is their final shot to equalize it. G2 looking at a straight ticket to Worlds and the Madrid finals, looking to win
Hysterics,
a
don't forget to do your
trophy
trees.
this year here in the LEC. But can they do it in a 3-1 fashion? We'll find out with our casters, Medic and Nymera.
I've lost real name privileges.
Sorry, man. I brought you down to my level as we get ready for Game 4 of this best of 5. For KC, back to the drawing board a little bit. The Nami Lucian worked for a bit in lane, didn't have the success
Why is
they wanted.
Fearx Enjoyer here?
A single dragon with
Hey Kate, it's my birthday today. Thank you for making
something
me
you
and us
really
Rats
want to
entertain
find.
more. Love you.
Didn't
Though
really
if you
have
read
as
this, I
much
hope
impact
LR
from
wins
the
emails
other
with your
roles as they would
Marie.
like
Happy
either.
birthday. Hope
For
you have a good
G2,
birthday.
It was a bit of an up and down game. There were a few moments of failure, but then after they started stacking those Drakes and getting the
Okay,
pressure
so
through the
G2's
mid
blue.
lane,
I think
they were
G2 on
in a
blue
very
obviously can
strong
target ban a little
position.
bit
And
more.
as soon as you saw openings
Talia
for
Azir is
Java,
probably a
scheme
trade that happens. They ban Ambessa, which
really
makes me
easy
think
to
they're
pick. This
probably
guy's
first picking
debut
Sion if
here
they
in
ban
LEC.
Talia
I think he's
next.
been fantastic in this split.
They're for sure
He's,
gonna go for
shown
some
a
fucking
lot of good
freaky ass
gameplay in
Sion
this
draft now
series
that
so
Nara's
far.
out. Trundle ban as well makes me think it's Sion even more. Or like Sion Prio goes higher. You could ban Talia now, force the Azir ban and take Sion. And then deal? Is that it? Is that what happens here?
Lanes being quite valuable now. KC have moved over to red
I think
side.
G2 is a big Sion team. I'm surprised they haven't played it earlier.
Potentially our bans change a little bit too. Of course, Pantheon made it
Unless they've got some kind of plan here, G2. Okay, there's Talia. I wonder if KC leaves Azir open and plays some Ziggs Maokai into it. I'm still waiting for someone to do that. Because then they can get, yeah, they could do Yunara, Maokai, all that good stuff.
Although Kallista's had some...
Do you leave both up?
He's had some mistakes.
At least they could trade Yunara Sion if they ban Azir.
And expect Kalista and Targamas to be able to play into it, because you can still play a Hyper Carry, you can still play a Thelios Thresh, you can still play Jinx Thresh, you can play Jinx Lulu, you can still like scale into
Oh,
it.
they left Azir open.
Yeah, okay.
Get rid of the Nico, one of the last
Oh, they could play Azir, and then they could go Yunara, Maokai, Yon. But they take the Yunara. G2 don't fall into the Azir. So KC can take Azir here. They know the Yon's coming, because both sides want to play Yon into Azir. Do you take Azir Maokai? Is that the play? Jarvan's down. Yeah, so now you get Yone and what? I guess you could do Sejuani Yon. Or you could do something that cooks the Maokai in jungle. Could do Ahri Vi as well, but I don't like it. This is actually a similar draft to what Lost Ratones had in the finals game 3. They take the Ziggs and... Ooh, I don't know what you're gonna do with the Ziggs though. What are you gonna pair it with? Chase? Don't like it. Ziggs for caps, but what jungler?
Outside of some random switch of
Nocturne?
into top lane or something like that. We've seen
Camille is
a couple
impossible
of
to
teams
pick.
try this out,
Jarvan is
particularly
out.
and LPL have really liked playing the Ziggs
Vi
into the
kind
Azir.
of works, but
for
I
a
don't know if
number
I
of
like
years,
Vi.
Teams were really reticent to pick this up. It has been a good pick into Azir for a while. One of the
I
ways
don't know
you
what
beat
you
Azir
pick
is
actually.
to
Oh, they
slightly
take a
outrage
Sion
him,
here.
poke
Okay.
him off the place,
So
and you
drop
can't exactly
jungle.
sustain up that. They have themselves a
KC
strong
could just
front line
match
as well.
top here and take
Both teams
Renekton.
figuring out what we found out in the
Or they
first two
could take
games. Strong front line, long range, scaling back line.
Cassante's
Bob's
out,
your
right?
uncle.
Yep, it seems to work.
Yeah, I think Renekton's maybe their best bet unless they want to drop top and just pick
But that's what I really want to see.
Jhin
Exactly,
here,
it comes down- no,
or...
that's exactly what I want this series to be about. I want it to be about execution. I want
Is
it
there
to be
another
about
AD carry I'm
fingers
missing?
on mice and keyboards. Who plays it out better? Because both these teams look very comfortable in game 1 and game 2 with strong
Gwen?
front line,
Okay, they take
range,
Jhin.
scaling backline.
Okay.
So
I mean, G2 could ban Renekton. They could ban like Renekton Gwen if they want to cover the Sion a bit. And KC for bans, I think the only junglers they really have are like Nocturne.
So he's 50% win rate on it all time.
Wow.
Sejuani is shit.
It's just a coin flip for the game then, Manic. The numbers don't lie.
There's the Nocturne ban. I think Bard is also really strong for both comps right now because they're both kind of playing semi-poke. I think Bard is really powerful. So if I'm G2, I'm very conscious of Gwen
grasping roots.
It's Renekton, Bard, and maybe Jace.
How does the Azir know where to go? How does he get on towards that backline? Not grasping roots.
Nature's Grasp.
Nature's Grasp,
I was
there we
going
go.
to let that go. I was going
Nature's
to.
Grasp is no.
We take away Aatrox. I don't really care about Aatrox that much.
That's a struggle sometimes. Aatrox the second ban here for G2.
I think if G2 get like Mundo Bard 4-5, I think the game is fucked for KC.
Lacking quite a lot. The Trundle has already been banned out alongside that Nocturne.
Like, definitely Bard value is higher for G2. They take away the Vi, sure. It's like a filler pick for their comp. I mean, if you're blinding Bard, what do you need to ban? Do you need to ban Rakan's out, Alistar's out, Karma's out, Malta? I think you're fine, right? Unless you need to ban Thresh is useless.
And again, have a bit more of that ranged advantage.
I think if you just ban a top here, you're fine. Or
Or
Pike maybe is a good ban actually. If you want to blind Bard. Because Targamas is a big Pike player. Shin Pike could play the game. They ban the Bard. Okay, they don't want to pick it. They're scared of them taking it on 4. I mean, I think the G2 could easily blind like a Lulu here. I'm just worried that they're getting outranged.
Don't get caught out with that tempered fate. KC have
Yeah, top here you've got Gwen, Renekton,
just pick a top laner into the
Jace,
Sion, you already
all
know
pretty
the matchup
easy.
that you're going to be playing into.
I think
And then leave your
Renekton
support
and
for last,
Jace
get
I
your
like a
towers
lot
to get
more than Gwen. And I think
where you could
Renekton
also
of the
flex
two I
that
would
back
choose
into
myself
support.
because you don't need more range.
Less
You
likely,
need
but
more
just
beefy.
worth putting that on the table too. Think about that.
They go for the Jace. Okay, they want
Alright,
more
okay.
range. Holy
Now that's
shit.
That's
a lot of range.
That's
So now the thing with this is I think Maokai needs to now build full tank because otherwise it's a horror.
On the whole, got the better of BB across this series. Now,
What do you do with
three games,
G2 here?
to the side of BB and that Yorick
I
very
don't
much so
really
the
know. I
opposite.
think
They
Mundo
can was
jungle
really
is the
dealing well
best.
with the matchups he
But
was given
support,
there.
I
Now,
don't
the
like
Jace on the
Lulu.
side can be very risky. You mess up once, a good chunk comes
Nico's
through from the
out,
side,
right?
actually.
Is
That's
yeah,
why the
Nico's
Ziggs
out.
roaming up with an ultimate, or whichever jungler comes in.
Brown,
It'll be a real
oof,
problem for you.
oof,
Kana
oof,
will
oof,
have
oof.
to be aware
I
of the
think
threat which
Pike
G2
is the
can bring
best
to his
pick
lane.
now
Jace
for
is banned
KC.
against Carmine Corp in 73%
Like you
of
can't
their
blind,
games.
you can't
He's
pick
honestly
Leona on
just
5 here.
really good at it.
You're just gonna get
So I'm
fisted
not
in
too
lane.
surprised
You
to
can't
see
play a
him
range
decide to
support
pick
because
it
it
up, as you
doesn't
say.
work.
Can be a little
I
bit
think you
of a difficult
kinda
matchup.
have
Like
to go
for
Pike, don't you?
G2, I was thinking about it with the Jhin, with the grasping, Nature's Grasp.
Ooh, Volley Bear.
Want something to protect
Wait.
you a little bit. Volley Bear.
Volley Bear jungle.
Solo queue terror.
What the
In
fuck?
jungle here for Skewman.
Okay, they
We
cooked.
talked about new picks. You can take
I
that off your
still
bingo.
think it's a Pike game.
First time we are
Oh, they're gonna go
seeing it
Maokai
in the
support or
LEC.
what?
Cosmic Drive, Navori
I
full
don't know
plays is
about
the build you
Maokai
usually
support,
go for
brother.
with the Jack of all trades.
Can I just say that
Unless Volley Bear hard counters Maokai, I don't know if you should put that in support.
The Volley Bear hit really important for a number of reasons. One, Jace is not safe under tower anymore. That's the huge reason. If you ever get a wave push in, it's a big...
Chat, I'm on ads. If you want to ads, you can use the tail note to try and have something to the channel if you don't want to. Back for the games on pickers. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. If you sub now, you won't get ads for the next 30 days. Ooh, I don't like this Maokai support. I feel like bot lane is fucked. Yo, Kobe, what up? I hope you're doing well. Much love. He drops in the chat. Yo, chat at Kobe, say hello. I don't like this. I think G2 wins here. I think mid-isolation is whatever. Volley Bear jungle is very strong early. And is Kobe's main champ. And top will win for KC in isolation. But I will say, Volley Bear Sion into Jace. Jace can die very quick. Level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. The Volley Bear comes in, that Jace is dead.
Just so good with the frenzy, it's skirmishing with other people. We'll see. I expect a slowish early game again, though. I think both teams very happy just to scale up. Kana putting pressure on Broken Blade, possible.
I mean, I see a Braum and a Sion for level 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Also Volley Bear as well. I'm just saying, it is not outside the realm of possibilities that G2 cook up something special for...
I can smell the rat from here. What?
Now let's get into game 4.
The fuck?
Do or die for Carmine Corp. They will have further chances.
Why is the cameraman zooming in on it? Brother.
Getting to Worlds.
Hey!
In this series, on this day, they need to win out the last 2. For G2,
I don't smell that bad.
is it business as usual? Is it another Worlds made? Only missed it
Some
once
guy
in
put on the
their
Reddit that he's
history,
watching from the hotel.
2021,
Of
the year
course
they
he's got the chat up as
want
well.
to
Yo, W.
forget. And the question is, can they continue those winning ways? I don't see too many shenanigans happening at the level 1 here.
I like what G2's cooked, you know. I really think that Volley Bear is a very good champ. And I think Volley Bear's job this game is to put Jace behind.
Ambiguousness is our savior here.
A game of League of Legends will take place.
That,
We're really on the
no, because Chrono Break could happen.
Oh,
It's like, then
well,
2
okay.
games of League of Legends.
If that doesn't happen, then we're fine.
G2
We are
is
the
cooking
fortune
hard.
cookies of casting, apparently. Leave it as
Oh my
vague
god,
as
Kana Jace,
possible.
let's go.
And of course, you're talking about G2. You know, they are part of the scenery of Worlds.
Yep.
Worlds
Samurai
doesn't feel
never
like
die.
Worlds unless G2
Dagger
is there.
emoji, heart
KC,
emoji.
though, have really staked a claim for their spot.
One map away
coming out
from
of
Worlds,
Evo
baby.
after
Let's go
this year.
G2. Wait, that was the
After
same
first
person
split,
of the
going
first
into
message. That was the
first
same
stand,
username.
KC gained a
Hey!
lot of notoriety across the world.
2 messages, 1
Getting
user?
down now, they'll have to claw back into the series.
Oh,
if
they're
they were to
late
make it
invading
the first
bot.
attempt.
What?
And there is a potential level 1. The Brawn volley.
Why are they
back.
late invading
Some
bot?
threats here. Q landing.
Because they're brown.
On target.
But I don't know if
You
you're
didn't
winning
walk away
this
from Hans
in the
Vlogov
long
and
run.
Skimon Fliss was
But
there,
now you're
and there's
kind
a
of
blast code
forced into
available for
doing
Yike
it.
and for Vladdy if they
Okay,
want
he's
to
gonna
come
back
across
off and
the
go to
wall.
his Raptor.
Vision not invested by G2. They know that Yike is starting on that side of the map.
You still haven't crossed it out. I'm
Yeah, but they don't
Caps
have
on
to, like,
Ziggs
pick it
is a
up,
weird,
you know,
like,
across,
feeling.
and It's just so much effort. now,
Like,
you know.
normally this is like a
Objective
Yappa
still
pick,
too,
but
Bridge.
Caps is doing it.
Yike in game 1 and 2.
No. Now, we are casters of League of Legends, but if I was a
So I think
caster
bot
of Bingo,
matchup is
I'd-
great for
I'd
G2,
be
and it
ambitious.
doesn't surprise me
Well,
that
as a caster of
Yike
Bingo,
is
I don't think
pathing
your job is to go
away
around and make sure everyone
because he
takes
needs a
the
Krabby
shot.
Patty, and he ain't getting one from
I
bot
think you
lane.
just say,
Because bot 3v3 is a
Two
nightmare.
Polar
Volley
Bears,
Bear
88.
Brown sounds fucking OP into Maokai
All
early.
the Ducks, 22.
Yep.
Have you ever thought about doing just a completely wrong one for that?
Oh, I mean, I think 2 Polar Bears is not 88. I think that's an entirely different thing. As Kallistan Targan was trade into Lebrov and Hans Summer. There's the heal early. They're looking for that win.
Kamehameha? No, it doesn't have it. It's the fucking, what is it called? The root.
Gets underneath this tower just in time.
What is the
However,
name of that spell?
the KC bot lane is hurting.
Yeah, that level 1, level 2 from the Yunara and the Braum is really nasty, particularly as the Yunara wants
Fuck,
to get
I
that
always
Q stack.
forget
It does have an
what the
auto
one
reset.
is that they said.
You
The
slow them
Kamiyamama.
into
Is
the
it that
Braum
one? Yeah, it is.
queue,
It's the
get
Slurkle.
that
That's it.
confirmation of the passive
The
pretty easily on
Slurkle.
the whole. And
Hey,
yeah, the
W
Maokai
reference, what the
does
fuck?
quite well for the Jhin later into the game where you root into root. The saplings open up a W angle. This was very popular in Worlds 2021 for those of you that
Is
remember.
Hansama gonna cheat her?
Yeah, which G2 tried to forget. It was what down 1 used to be T1 in their semi-finals. It was very, very famous there. So.
Karma taking a tower shot there. Bone plating going off as well as Broken Blade.
Got the minions.
Roars at one of the minions and then forces Kana away a little bit. This is bad. Like, it's not great for Kana. Obviously, he's still ranged into melee. He should be able to win out this matchup, but having to use his potion that early is not what he wanted.
Yeah, you just need to keep an eye on that. One of the big problems with Jace is that you don't have great sustain. The grass gives you a little bit. Also, I'm talking about Worlds and Jhin and Maokai. Of course, Kana was in that series at 21 semi-finals, so it'd be a trip back to Worlds for him. A couple of the members on the team as well. Yike and Targamas.
Volley Bear. Oh, he's gonna find
Going
Sedge
for the
here.
full flank here. Yike is
But Sedge
meet
is gonna
in the
find him
bush.
first.
They're looking for Kana, but both the junglers will meet up. Broken Blade getting traded on here.
But Volley
by
Bear
Kana.
owns the
Yike
Sejuani early.
losing the trades to the Volley Bear, just like we talked about. Kana now needs to run.
Jace, no flash.
Flashes away from the
Already
knockup.
crazy good. He could turn here with
Broken
QE flash if he wants. Yeah, he's dead.
retreat from
Jace
this.
dead.
They might turn back onto Kana. They know he's got no flash. The volley with the chase flash forward for the stun and bring
The Volley Bear is
down
just to
the
punish the Jace.
BB on the board early.
And now
doors.
Kana, no matter how good of a
Turns out
Jace he is,
Science
this
have
Volley
just
Bear
cut
is gonna
down
live in his
trees,
lane.
cuts down men as well. The man of tomorrow fell today. Jace dead for first blood. That is a problem. Kana really
Oh,
wants
and
to
they're
get ahead
swapping
in
into
this
the Jace
matchup.
as well. Does he get the base
Going to
off?
start from
He
a
does, right?
bit of an awkward spot.
He's going to have to TP back in here, flashless as well, whereas BB
And now they
retains
swap into the
his.
Jace.
The reset actually coming out from Hans
This
Summer,
Jace- this draft is the
perfectly timed to
anti-Jace
catch
draft.
This wave. So no minions going to be lost here for G2. Broken Blade catches the bot side.
The
This is
problem they
earlier than we
have
been
is they
seeing.
need
It
to
usually
come
happens
bot
in
with
about 3
Jace
minutes
because of the
time.
freeze, right?
But
Volley
it
Bear is
seems
going to
like
cycle
G2 are
bot
very
camps,
happy
and he
to
can
put
easily
BB
repeat
in
gank
a
bot.
2v1 if needs
So I
to
would
be.
love
But look at the
KC
way
to
the wave
help
is set up as well. When you go for a lane swap, you want
break
to
the
meet
freeze
wave
if it's
right at
held,
your
because
tower, so
otherwise
you
I'm
catch it right
scared
about
the
here.
Jace
They do that
just
on both
dies
sides of the map.
again.
Typically get that set up for one side of it,
But
because
looks
of the
like
death in top
Maokai's
side while
opening
Kana was
top.
trying to crash it in, means that Hans can pick it up at the
Isn't it
tower.
better for
On the other
Maokai
side,
to
BB
open
does
bot
the same
and spellbook a
on the
TP
bot
and
side
help the
of
Jace?
map. So
Or
you're
is
getting a good amount
Sejuani
from
enough?
both of them, and they get to choose what they do
Maybe
with the
Sejuani's
waves. If
enough.
you have the wave on your side, typically you can set up for a slow crash, but you can also
Like
try
here,
and
if
freeze
Volley
it
Bear
out
went
if
like
the
this,
situation's
isn't Jace
right as
dead?
well. What it means though is G2 get the choice, and
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
G2 will be very happy with that
Maybe
early
not.
sequence. About 700 gold ahead
He's playing quite
as
safe.
well. Cap's getting a little bit of a lead in
Okay,
the
Crab is
mid
dead.
lane, but the majority of that obviously sitting on Skumond and Broken Blade. There's a dragon up in this bot side, but I don't think either team's really going to want to play around it too early on. You're undermanned on this
Pink the
side
Drake.
of the map right now, with your bot lanes being up
He
towards
sees
top.
Sejuani
LeBron
with that sweeper,
getting a
which
bit
is
of
nice.
vision in towards the enemy jungle, and you can see the pings from KC being like, we're not quite sure where he he is. He's probably around mid right now, so
You see Sejuani taking the pink. He's going to go to our top camps.
Again, Lebrov is, man, this is true support gameplay. He catches the bot wave to make sure Broken Blade doesn't lose any minions. He then catches the mid wave to make sure Caps doesn't lose any minions. And then he shepherds Skewmon into the jungle to steal away these razor beaks.
It just reminds me of, you know,
Is top wave
day,
pushing out?
Because
if it is,
like
while they're on Drake here,
you get more
this
tower
might
kills
be a
than
bit
champion kills,
freaky
like,
for
man,
KC
the
bot lane.
rotations, that's the
They
gameplay.
need to
we're
blow
here
this
for.
wave
This feels
quick.
like the more
I like that the
nature
Brock
of it.
pulls the
It's all about
sapling.
catching waves at certain points and holding
Breaks
it
the
for your
trap.
teammates. This is
Okay, how are you
a
breaking this top?
connoisseur's game of
They have to
League of
send it
Legends.
onto
We
maybe
went from
Maokai here.
supports not getting any gold because they had to spend it all on wards and such, to now supports not getting
Lost
any
the
gold
cannon.
because they're never near the
But he's
minions
scratching
to
the
actually
wave.
last hit them.
All good.
Isn't that
Their world
arguably
outlets.
worse because it's just so tantalizingly
All
close,
good
yet
for
it's not
KC.
there.
Please let me auto this minion. The Drake, though, taken by
Maybe they need to
KC,
base and
knowing
run
there
bot,
was
though.
investment in the top side by G2,
idea.
so they do
kinda
get
hard to
themselves
break
on the
this.
board in terms of neutral objectives. And for now, they'll be okay with that. They are bleeding a little bit across the map, but it's nothing too consequential, especially since they do scale well into this game. Jace Shock Blast,
Yeah.
you've got the Azir, you've got Jin, who can do damage, even though I know a lot of you think he can't. See the slow there onto Targamas. They go for Kalist. There's the stun immediately. Cleanses and
heal
gets
and
the heal from
cleanse.
Targamas as well. The root coming out from the tree. Dodges away from the
Sejuani is
stun
here
and
though,
steps
but
back
they
in.
don't know
Yike
where
was
Volibear
just
is.
around the
Volibear
corner
could
in the
be in
tri
lane
bush.
there.
Decides
And
against
even though
going any
Sejuani's
further.
top,
And again, just look, they get to choose
The
where the
Volibear
wave
kills
is. They
them.
choose, look, we're going to hold it here, take a good trade, and then we can push out when you have to recall. This is what happens when lane swaps go well, and you get the choice of where your lanes are. That
Chase
is,
Flash
you know,
still
a
not
minute
up.
or two in the making at points, and I think that G2 do very well there. You know, Kalist blows the
Scion
will be
ult
able
up.
to get that
They have a
wave
window
at time,
here.
but you see the threat. G2 having the choice of what they do with
but
the
it
waves
looks
is
like
what
they're
makes
not
that
going to go for it. Sion's
Looks like it's
facing.
going to be back up towards the top side for Hans Summer. Let's hit that level
Wait,
6.
I guess they can ult
send
back to lane.
himself.
It is what it
Broken
is.
Blade, no TP, so he's going to lose a couple of minions to this tower. Just having a quick look to see what Kana was maxing second there.
Scion ult. Who needs a teleport?
Unstoppable. He'll still lose a couple of minions. One. He did lose it. He'll come
That's
back
not
in
a
and get
couple,
it.
though. That's one.
Okay, look, man.
We really tried.
Betty would never do this to me. I mean, I'm just saying.
Look, our voices are very similar.
That is
but
true,
I'm not,
actually.
I'm
People
not
probably think it's a Medi cast right now. So, Broken Blade will just push out that bot wave. I was looking, we had some information from Odo that often Jaces will max E second
yes.
against the Scion. I think he's maxing W second, because E gives you more percentage HP damage, and you can see it is
Wait,
W
it's not
second
Thaddeus?
for him.
Yeah, I think in this case, I think, you know, you're eventually going to transition to a role where you're much more about being backline DPS and being ranged, so I suppose it's less about the individual matchup. We, I guess, very basically kind of think about the matchup there. KC will want to really, at some point, group up long-range Jhin and the Jace. It can't really poke in the way that he'd want to. It's basically going to be random Braum Qs, and then
Scion
someone like
ult.
the Ziggs trying to contest the poke.
So this is like a
Broken Blade
really empty gank.
I was on the wrong side of Kana there for a second. Trades back into him. Yike is waiting by the tower.
I'm surprised
to
Skewmon
see
hasn't
if
doubled
perhaps
down on the
something
Jace.
materialized, but nothing
But
will.
maybe he thinks he
will
can
be able
just
to catch the wave and
leave
Kana
the
takes
Scion
another
now
tower
after one
shot.
kill to
I
just
do
play the
wonder
game.
as well if after losing that first blood, Kana was like, there's no real point trying to
So
win
it's Cosmic
the lane
Drive
as
Volibear.
effectively as I could, because I'm not going to be as useful into this Scion that already has a 300 gold lead on me.
Yeah, especially once you get that first good back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it snowballs from there. Top lane can often be decided by a good first back at points. And we did say G2 managed the lane swap very well. I will say, no, it's a good lead, 1,000, getting corrupts as well. They do have a Volibear. Volibear is strong, doesn't scale fantastically well compared to something like the Sejuani. Now, it's better than it was before in some methods where it really was, well, you get a
Oh,
Kentang,
nice
one
smite
item.
by Skewmon.
That's really what you
He
achieve
saw
in
the
the
Jhin
game.
W.
Actually, Yike could go for a...
Yeah, Skewmon used the smite here, and Yike knows,
Nice yoink by
oh
Yike
no,
at
he
least
does
to get
steal
one.
it. It's just Skewmon gets the credit
so
because he got
what
2 or
happens
3.
is, when someone gets 2 out of the 3, it doesn't matter who kills the last one, it will always show up as the person who killed the 2. So it's like, oh, his Volibear comes up on the kill feed. No, he doesn't get the 3rd one, he just gets 2 out of the 3.
It was a good ward on the grubs though, meaning that they saw Skewmon use the smite on the second grub. Yike knew he could jump in, smite it away, and just Arctic Assault out of the fight. So, for the moment, still a small lead for G2 overall. Where are we getting that from? Mostly in the jungle. You can see Skewmon has about a 10 CS lead. There's a little bit in mid and bot lane
Feels
as
like
well,
G2
because
slowly
the
winning,
lane
but
swaps have,
the
as
good
you
news
said,
is
been
they only
played
have one
just
Drake.
a little bit better, as Hans Summer tried to get onto Kalist, but doesn't quite have the damage to take him down yet without a first completed item.
Doesn't mean that he's completely locked under turret. Needs to be A little bit afraid. Hans
Mods, lock in, please. This chat is getting wild.
Needs to be a little bit careful there. Dragon now in a minute. Might see a contest over this one. Cap's getting a shove in here, going for the Blackfire on the Ziggs. We sometimes see the Ludens. We've seen a drop-off in Seraphs. Thankfully, I think Orc's somewhere out there.
I like that he preemptively puts the W down because it has a cast time. Gives him space to be able to poke.
Be good DPS. Now the Ziggs does need to actually
Caps up
hit
10
a lot of
CS,
skill shots.
300 gold, chilling. BB's up in gold with the kill, chilling. He's literally TPing underneath the enemy top tier 1.
Regardless of whether he's in bot
He's
lane
that much of a
or in
give a
mid
fuck.
lane. So keep an eye on the
And
skill shot.
yeah, Hansama has his first item.
Keep an eye on that.
Scumon's up in
Inferno bomb
XP.
as well.
They're doing a pretty good early game
what
here,
you
G2, I
tend
would
to
say.
see is someone locked up with
Chase
concussive
TP's
blows
top,
or
Drake
Cyanol
in
and then
10.
Mega Inferno bomb just
G2's
on their
timing is
face.
pretty
It's
good, a little
you
late,
can
but
flash away from this, but then you
they
burn
probably
that
stay
summoner
for their
just to get
items.
out of the,
A bit disconnected
big
as well because Yunara needs to catch
AoE
bot.
DPS coming out from Caps. He's going E second
As long as Cap doesn't get
for
shuffled
his
here, I
max
think
explosive
G2 can
minefield instead
retake
of the
bot side
satchel,
pretty
which I
easily.
do think we saw in the LCK. Maybe Chovy did it, I want to say.
Can't remember the player, but I do remember a Twitter conversation about it.
Orcs
so.
was very angry.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to remember.
Yes, sweeper
about
here,
this sorts
Skimon,
of
but he's not
situations.
pressed
Might
it
not have been
yet.
Chovy, but we did see it recently as G2 set up around this bot side for the Drake. Hansama dodging away from the deadly flourish. Sun has both those summoners. In fact, pretty much all the summoners across the board are up.
BB's moving down with Sion ult. He's taking over mid with Shift.
Across here. Kana's working his way down.
Jhin doesn't have an item. I think KC should just leave this. It's bad for KC because what they've essentially done is they've made their Jace recall and run out bot side to contest Drake. Then by the time he's gotten here, they said, let's not fight Drake. And now they're arriving at top at the same time, despite not fighting Drake. If they stayed top with Jace, they could have maybe pushed and gotten a plate.
Quite interested to see how they approach the next couple of objectives. When do they feel like they're ready to fight? I think G2, they're actually already at that position now. We've got one item on the Yunara, one item on the Ziggs, very long-range follow-up from that champion of the Ziggs too. Sion can start fights very effectively, and we're also in the point of power for the volley.
Yeah,
first
I think
item
G2's just going to win this game.
the build earlier.
Unless
Stuff
KC
like
can break this
coming in too.
game
Real
somehow.
question for me will be when they choose to
But they're kind of just losing everywhere.
Bad trade there. Glacial Fisher going white cliff. Flashes and cleanses.
See what I mean? The bot matchup is completely unplayable. The top matchup's unplayable after the Volibear gank. And mid is just a farm fest. Hola! It's so done. So done.
Hits him with the thundering smash, and that's 2 quick kills to G2.
G2 hit their power spike. One item on these champions is deadly, and KC do not respect it quite enough. Yunara starts to
I like G2's drafts the last couple of games.
Sion in top side.
Coming out, decimating smash.
It's very funny how they adapted.
Still going to be slow. Flash
Q.
Countered with a
Auto
flash
attack.
of his own.
Oh, he doesn't go for it. It's very funny how G2 adapted in game 1. They played heavy, like early to mid game playmaking, and then from that point onwards they just played scaling teamfight stability.
On the chase, trying to get in here as well. Has that glacial prison, but won't go for it. Currently a 3v4 in favor of G2.
This is definitely their best game by far.
Just have to settle for the chip damage on the G2 players.
I mean, that was a really intelligent roam over by Caps, knowing we just won the fight. I am a Ziggs. I can kill this
Caedrel was right, 3-1 G2.
Punish, but sadly
yep,
can't
I told you the hate watchers today are just
real
losing.
into the fight.
Today is just the day.
Shuffle, but I think with Collis and Targamas down, it would have been very risky to do so.
God, looking at Jin's items is just sad.
Revenge. This is a problem. G2 have hit their power spike. Have wave play from Ziggs too. KC don't have a response, and while I do think later into the game they have a very good team comp with good range, good team fighting potential with their tank frontliner to Sejuani as well, they've just given up an awful lot now. G2 have a great lead to use as a platform for the next fight.
Probably the largest early game lead we have seen in this series, almost 4K at 14 minutes. It's truly exploded in G2's favor, and you can see 1,000
now,
gold
I actually think it's very fun because KC losing means they play against Vitality, who I think they lost to or almost lost to, which is probably a really good matchup actually. I think KC Vitality is a solid matchup.
KC as that first pick on blue side.
KC.
I also think Fnatic versus GX or Koi versus GX is a good matchup too. So this playoffs matchups are going to be pretty stacked for ACI. Tomorrow is KC versus tomorrow's Koi versus Fnatic at the same time.
My worry is they've given up too much now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Koi versus Fnatic. Winner goes to Worlds.
Claw their way back into the game, giving up an objective or two. Perhaps doesn't look like that much now, but giving over Herald maybe opens up something like a Herald with a Volibear ult tower dive later on. They don't want to give this up too easily.
But how do you really contest?
I know that series is going to have 400 kills.
On your mid, on your
it's going to break records in kills, I can feel it.
cool. Yikes getting some stacks, and it will, if he gets enough, scale up through the game, but it's
like
just
today
not
was like
right
the
now.
clean
Yunu's complete on Kana,
snowball League of
he's
Legends.
not
Tomorrow
there
is the
really
fucking
to do too much right now. Can't even get through the shield
gulag
on the
fist
side.
fight League of Legends.
And if you're KC, you're like,
Tomorrow is where it's at.
Kana can be really good. Yike getting caught out.
Oh, he tried to flash in front of Sejuani Q, but he tagged him at least.
Stormbringer in from Skewmond, and down goes Yike.
G2 is
Hans Summer here as well. The curtains have opened. The
very
wave
good
not
game.
cleared out. Rift Herald coming down. Might
Top
just be a
tier
tier
2
2
set. They have
here,
6
Nightmare.
W,
They
right?
have the Ziggs. It's the Herald Ziggs charge. They didn't respect the volley barrel. It's going to be a huge inner turret push.
There it goes. G2 might just try and shepherd this forward. LeBron could just ride it away. No, Kana says nope.
Car's broken down. Need a replacement. What did Finn call it? The
Call the triple
Look
A
at Jin's
quickly.
damaged out.
the
I can't
company
check.
car
My thing
for-
doesn't work.
yeah.
Honestly, that was fantastic.
But G2, like 5,000 gold ahead right now. They are in such a strong position. Everyone with a sizable chunk of change in their advantage. For KC, after a very solid game 1, things have kind of fallen apart, especially here in game 4. They do still have roads back to Worlds.
Well,
roads back to
Collector
Madrid.
Jin
They'll take on Vitality if they lose
At minute
this game.
16 is
But
Sag.
Then you're down to the lower side of the bracket. One loss knocks you out.
Oh, ult.
On Summer,
What the
transcending.
fuck?
Oh, broken blade.
He did the
Okay.
thing on Sion where you can bounce off
Tokyo
walls.
drifting if I've ever seen it. Bounces
It's
off
actually
one
not a
wall
bug.
into
You
the
can
other.
bounce off walls on Sion ult.
It's,
I'm pretty
we call
sure
that
it's a
messenger
feature.
in bowling.
I mean, most of
What?
the players on the Rift are playing League of Legends.
I've seen
Broken
Baus
Blade
do it.
playing pinball. I didn't even know that was possible. Another turret will come in with the Zig Satchel charge.
Wow, they're
That'll
just
be the
moving
full
around the
round
map
to
as
bring
4
down
men.
Lusty
Sion's
Inner and
catching
top
side
lane,
waves.
and the gold lead
They're dropping a
keeps
bit of waves, but they're
increasing.
just grouping for
6K
towers.
at 17 minutes. There's a Drake for G2 if they want it, but they want to just
Okay,
keep pushing
Labrov
forward. Satchel charge
blocks
away.
this.
Nature's Grass coming out, will clip Caps.
Caps gets flashed on. He has flash though, so I think he's fine.
They just don't have the damage to get onto him. Caps survives through it.
TP from BB.
Can
Can we get a replay of the Sion drift?
Immediately
What the fuck?
G2 take a huge lead. KC, they wanted to survive to the point where they could use their ranged carries. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do so now. Real credit.
I think your best bet was play Maokai jungle, pick Pyke, and then just match them across the map. But yeah, I think picking Maokai support, Sejuani jungle is just GG. That's the worst jungle support ever into Braum. Hey, where's the drifting replay? I don't want this replay. This replay sucks. Hey!
Something back. They must get some kind of goal.
This one is just
when their cooldowns
Casey
are down,
dying.
They just can't quite find the angle.
I wanna see the
It's a little
BB
bit too
drift.
far as Targon was looking for Caps. You kind of have to get onto him. I understand the decision making, but the execution doesn't leave him with enough follow-up to capitalize.
Yeah, it reeks of desperation.
Yeah.
Really, like your AD carries down, you're looking for something. Yes, if it had worked, great. You get a bounty, you get some gold back in your pockets, but it's a one-way mission. At that point, you are going hell for leather and just hoping that you can survive. Now, no flash on Targamas, does have the unsealed spellbook. Heal and cleanse his current options.
Like the Lone Wolf mission on Halo Reach. Objective, survive.
Yeah, I mean, it's Helldivers as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just have to live through it all if you can, but KC are struggling to do that right now. 6-0.
Yeah, G2 have been rotating around the map
4
really
to
well.
1. It is the most dominant early game we have seen so far this series.
And a real credit to Hans and Labrov too, who have used slight edges from the lane swap into the wave manipulation.
Now they
into
can use
good
their
trades,
team
and then just
comp
breaking
to, like,
down this bot lane bit by
push
bit.
top,
I think
move
Hans
mid,
and Labrov
push
did a great
mid,
job of
move
taking a
bot.
small advantage.
Voli Bear is
I
split
liked it
pushing
from
for some
that lane
reason,
swap.
and then get a bot
Made it
tier
into
2 maybe.
something much more than that. G2, their snowballing instincts in this game have been really,
So you see the
good.
shift?
They got a reality check in game 1.
Pretty
I
good.
think that's important to them.
I don't
The
know
rest
if
of
they
the
can get
series
bot
looked
tier
a lot
2
more
though.
dominant.
It definitely has.
I don't know if they can
KC have
just
had
walk up and
some
take a
solid
bot tier
signs
2.
throughout it, but you can see in this game, not too much to smile at. Yike closer to Labrov than anyone on G2.
Feels a bit scary for G2.
Disadvantage from his enemy jungler.
I think
who is
KC
the
should pull the
lowest
trigger
gold
maybe.
apart from Labrov's
If they see a
support
good
on
angle.
G2. Broken Blade pushing through mid. KC trying to defend. Vladdy
Maybe
looking
Caps
for
TP
that
top,
next
I don't
item
know.
in
I
the
think
top
losing
lane.
top tier 1
There's a
objective
tower
bounty
there with a
sucks.
bounty on it.
I think
Might
maybe
just
they
try
have to get
and
top
get a
tier
little
1
bit of
base on
gold
Azir,
back in
TP
his
here and just
pocket.
send it.
But there's 2 items apiece on Hans Summer
But it
and
looks
on
like they're not
Caps.
doing it. They're
Broken
just
Blade
giving the
has
tower.
2 alongside it.
And they're just losing the game.
Onslaught. Between the uprights, Kana
Because Azir
flashes
still
in,
didn't take the
Labrov
top
with
tower.
a glacial
Oh, he's dead actually.
fissure, decimating smash.
Oh my god, they just die from in the game.
Just die. KC lose 2 in the blink of an eye.
Wow, and they take mid tier 2 and they take bot tier 3.
Blink and you miss it.
G2's macro when they're ahead is so good.
KC.
They are
And
so
the base
fucking
comes
good when they're ahead.
crumbling down, the inhibitor turret falls. G2 This snowball is a snowball from hell. KC have not, all they do is get crushed by it. They can't stand.
Often we talk about Atakan being an Atakan't, but I think this time it is a fine prize for G2. They push through the inhibitor tower on the bottom side. They have an 8,000 gold lead, 20 minutes into the game. LeBron's going to try and keep
yeah, it's KC Rage engage now, but it's too late. It's way too late.
Will there be an encore for KC, or is the show over? Curtain call, Han Summer flashes away. Vladdy stand up. Han Summer
That's so sad. Oh, he got him, what? Wait, how did he get him?
Still going on to
Do we have Leandries or what?
Oh,
the bomber, the comet, the scorch.
Skewmon will be able to get away. Caps opens up onto Targamas. LeBron coming back to rejoin with his team in the end. G2 to lose their AD carry just.
I thought did he buy Leandries on it? Oh, he did, yeah.
Much more. Kana stayed around. Thought he could
they got a kill, KC.
Play will chase him out.
That's pretty good.
G2 continue to chase in. Kana avoids the knock up there from Broken Blade by knocking him back, and in the end, G2 will call off any further fight.
That's about as good as it gets for KC, and it feels so bad for them because they get the AD carry, but nothing else. They still lose the Atacana. Reminder, their base was broken just before this too. The Jinnot's not
Handsama
bad.
getting hit by that fourth shot is a crime.
And Vladdy tries so hard to get onto Handsama. Does manage to just take him with a tiny bit of damage, which does enough. And luckily just survives. If he'd managed to sweep back the whole team, perhaps there'd been a little bit more that. Pretty lucky to survive at the end of that, actually.
Yeah, it was the Leandries burn. He just completed it after taking the top tier 1. So good item pickup there for Vladdy.
KC have invested a lot into this as
Lavrov had
even in gold.
KC,
that has been at the cost of losing so much in the base, but at least it leads to something
my
there.
king.
A lot of eggs put into the Vladdy basket, hoping that the Azir can somehow scale and carry.
Question is, can he? Game 1 had a really good time up against Caps on that Orianna, was able to survive through the bonk incredibly effectively. The Akali, though, game 2 had a struggle.
G2 taking it easy. They got all outers and inners, but they're just waiting for the wake.
Also part of it to his execution on the day.
Sometimes, if you're too far ahead in terms of map control, or you have like every tower, it makes you tweak and you start sieging tier 3s without Baron, and then you start fucking dying. So G2's not falling into that feels good trap of dopamine addiction, where you're like fisting them on their towers, thinking, oh my god, we can take their tower easy and try and outplay the engage.
KC have bought themselves 5 minutes.
No, just click dragon.
Some sort of semblance of quiet, some semblance of peace, or as much peace as you can find when you are 7,000 gold behind.
Yeah, it's time to lick their wounds, really. Put the bandages on, square up for another round. KC do not want to let this go if they can help it. Very, very hard to come back in a game like this, though. Now, they have waited to try and scale. Very hard, though, to take winning fights against a Sion that is so tanky, and the Volibear that can even turn off your turrets. He's gone towards, a bit more tanky build after that first item. Now, Volibear and Skewmon, he's just going to dunk you on the turret. You don't even get to use that very much.
The thing is, like, Skewmon doesn't need the damage the Flicker Blades provides. A solo Q build does work incredibly effectively with the Jack of all trades, but instead, Iceborne Gauntlet, the Spectre's Cow going up towards possibly a Spirit Massage for that extra healing. It's Vladdy, the key damage dealer on KC, a guy that G2 have to be cautious around. Kana is pushed up here, but he's going to recall.
Now they're just going to wait for Baron and play it.
G2 just
get IE on Yunara,
out of the jungle now.
Take all their camps.
With Baron up in a minute, we get to see G2. Game. Do they dot their I's and cross their T's? Do KC find some way of sneaking a bit of vision behind, finding a good TP flank, perhaps?
Yeah, I think KC are in a similar situation that we saw in
Caps is calling, they might have wards behind
game
them.
3 we saw at points of this, right?
Because Handsama Flash is still down.
Well, the games that they've been losing, of course. They're now looking for objective steals and real big misplays from G2. They've lost agency in this game. They don't get to call the shots. They were waiting to see if they could accrue enough items to make a play. I think if Vladdy gets towards Void Staff, maybe we can have another conversation about that. Does have the Blighting Jewel already. The rest of his team is not going to be at that point of power there. I mean, this is a very anemic
G2 just tweeted
something like the Infinity
a picture of KC's team and quotes retweeted someone saying define ass.
On resolve, it's not percent pen. So the Sion is going to be ruling supreme. The Infinity Edge is now in from Kalist. Maybe that can be a little bit more damage uptick, which they need. But let's make no mistake, it would be disingenuous to say that KC have like a strong chance of coming back here. This is that thread the needle experience. That being said, we've seen stranger things happen before. KC, can they make it happen, or G2, will they just continue? It's incredible snowball they've done this game.
We talked about possible sneaky wards. There's one just outside the Baron pit there for KC. put a control ward in themselves. They do have a little bit of vision on G2 if they did decide to start up the big purple worm. Broken Blade just clearing out the mid wave. Hansama's going to be...
Alright, Baron's up. It's just a matter of time that G2 holds Baron control and clicks Dragon and takes it, or they hold Baron control, get a pick, and get Baron, or they start it in turn.
Bit of a choke point. Broken Blade can tank for a while. Skewmon can look for the engage.
They need to be a little careful. Azir does have decent items. Look at the XP of Vladdy. He's actually quite ahead of Caps, because Caps is grouping a lot for towers.
Looking for a fight. If one offers itself into their open hands, they'll happily take it, but they don't need the battle right now. They just want to get that vision control down.
And I think particularly Skewmon does actually need to still play realistically. He can get burst out. The Volibear is not a hyper tank. That's an ult onto Caps. Just
Satchel charges away from the Glacial Prison. There's no tower here to save him. TP comes out. The smite from Yike for the slow.
They could
Skewmon
chase them down here.
Flashes forward,
Kana's
looking for
cooked.
the fight, and Kana able to
Sion ult.
Oh.
Yeah, that's basically game, because they can chase really easily. They get Baron, they get Drake, they get Soul.
A Tempest, and its name is G2, the Baron now in their eyes.
The Freljord face-off goes the way of Skewmon. G2 jungler against ex-G2 jungler. G2 go towards the Baron. No smite on the other side. And KC, they get
G2 is definitely going KBBQ after this.
Game, folks. They have been well and truly shut out. G2 domination here in
Hansama's probably sitting on like 2k gold.
Seen daylight.
It's 9,000 gold lead at 27 minutes. It's only going to extend as they take this Baron up to 10k. And for KC, that's a long, long way back into this game, into this series. Caps,
so close.
Great flash. Satchel into the flash, as you say, so close. But as soon as they don't catch him, they know they are in for a world of hurt.
Okay, so G2 lock worlds. There's 2 spots left. KC, Koi, Fnatic, and maybe GX. Maybe, I don't think Vitality will do it. But maybe GX can pull it off.
Is galling for KC. Great turnaround by the tanky members of G2.
Ban Volibear.
Said ban Volibear.
Ban Volibear?
Apparently that's what you need to do. 40 seconds before Cloud Soul.
You only get 3 spots, yeah.
Coming in again.
Bro, if you just missed Q flash on Brown, you report it, but you hit your ult, so I'll allow it, you're unreported.
Fisher makes Kana meet his maker. Broken Blade distracting the rest of KC. As now, once again, they have to defend in a 4v5. G2 are going to go down towards the bottom side, just try and crack through that inhibitor.
G2 have just started as they meant to go on. They started by killing Kana, and they have made a habit of it in this game. Kind of so important to KC, has not been given room to breathe. G2 pushing through the bot side, crack the inhib, and the base is broken once again for KC.
Yeah, Broken Blade can shepherd in this next set of minions, but Skewmon has the wave in the mid lane, looks for the stun onto Yike, does land it, curtains open. From the gym,
Sion has no TP.
Broken Blade, but the Mega Inferno bomb takes half
this is
his health,
hurting
and
a
now
lot.
Unbreakable is up from Lebrov. Caps will take the last shot into a
Ooh, this is hurting a lot. They have to send it here, KC. Somehow, they have to TP in and send it everything now. They're so low. Oh, this is awkward, isn't it? Oh, Lord. I mean, they kind of had to. But now he's left by himself, and they don't get anything.
Not unhealthy enough.
They're 11k down, right? So
was knocked up with a decimating smash. Skewmon already on the Drake here. Oh! Broken Blade just slams a train into the tree. He's a lumberjack for a reason, it seems.
They are just dunking on them.
Targus does no one hit him. Well, I mean,
it's nice to see G2 at Worlds.
Sion.
Caps is back again.
BB, we said, oh, you know,
all the hopes are going to be on Caps' shoulders again. And we're going to lose to NA. Not this time, suckers. You're getting fucked.
They have so often this regular season relied on BB and
not
his
this time.
advantages. BB currently
you might beat us at last year. You might beat us at MSI, but not this time, friend.
Some complaints about him.
Not this time.
Go back to meta. Well, he's done that now. How'd you like it? Jeez, this has been a strong game from him.
It really has.
Now all we need tomorrow is Fnatic to lock Worlds, and then Faker to lock Worlds, and then we get Popey versus Faker. And then Caps can clap NA. Perfect storylines.
Deliberately for the team. Game 1 was a bit of a struggle bus. G2 now pushing through the top side, have the Cloud Soul at their backs, ushering them forward towards their Nexus unstoppable.
Right, he did it again. He pinged off the wall.
He finds Vladdy, not with a knockup. Vladdy has to flash away. Yike towards the bottom side. Lebrov gonna get hit with Glacial Prison, but Mikhail's himself there that has the cleanse effect from the Summoner Spellbook. And Yike just trying to clear out a bit of vision.
Less
on the
extreme,
side.
but he still did it a little bit.
Only one invested by KC, but their base in tatters. Flying scraps at most around them. Maybe they can farm up the super minions, but I don't think G2 is going to give them much of a respite.
Look, it's tutorial League of Legends, folks. All 3 inhibs down. Soul claim from G2, Elder on the horizon. Baron,
Today's a crazy day for finals and sports and esports and everything.
Are very much last life, last chance.
What a banger weekend.
Deathbed for a little while. G2, all they need to do really is just capitalize on this game. What a clean game from G2. Yeah. They took a slight lead onto that top lane, that first blood. Took a slight lead in the getting the waves in the right position in the
Sinner, I think
lane
I'll watch
swap.
that.
And they just haven't looked back. It's been play into
I don't know
play,
where to watch it, though.
snowball
I
into
think you have to
snowball.
watch it
The
somewhere.
Polybear dives under the turret. Sion
Sky
screaming
Sports.
like a hot rod across the map as well. In KC, they have run afoul of it. They have not been able to
Skim1 has
stand
been
the fight.
split pushing a
Just
little
haven't been
bit.
able to find really anything in this game, KC. 1 kill, 2 towers, and a Drake as G2 were swapping towards the top side. Now, though, March continues for G2. Looking at another Worlds qualification. KC.
Go on, bow specialist.
Still have more opportunities after
Bow
this.
special.
Against Vitality.
BB.
Trying to get back to Madrid. Skim1's
How are you not bow
onto
specialing?
Yike.
What?
KC still trying to defend. The
waves are coming in. It's time. You could bow special with both of them. Oh no, they could do volley Sion double bow special.
And Kalista and Vladdy were caught the exhaust onto Vladdy, stunned underneath the fountain. He's going to be healed up enough, but the Nexus is bare and open. There are 3 inevitabilities in the LEC. Death taxes and G2 making worlds. 9 of the last 10 as they take down KC.
Madrid,
G2 always gets there.
G2 is coming. They qualified for Worlds, they qualified for Madrid.
Strong team, looking
G2
strong.
3-1 over the blue wall.
We'll see how they
First
progress
game gave them a
through
reality check. They nodded their heads, resettled themselves, dominated
through the playoffs and
the
at
series.
Worlds, but I think
really
they're
did.
very good at.
KC,
You can see the control they have on their head. They don't
Early
take
game
big
much
risks.
better
They take
than it
small
has
wins,
been,
small
apart
wins,
from
small
game
wins, small wins, small wins. Shift here, shift there, small win,
having
and it all adds up.
coordination in some of the team fights. A few individual mistakes as well. Look back to game 3, the Atacant play. Starting it, running away, going back.
No
coming
greedy,
back.
no one getting caught. Everyone
little bit all
understands
over
the game
place.
plan.
Still, they
It's
have
just
lower
the step
brackets
of
to make
getting
their way
ahead
through. You've got
against
one
the
of
Eastern
G2
teams is
players,
where
though,
the struggle
in your key
becomes
player of the series,
a bit more real.
And Hans Sommer
And the
are your
pressure, right?
options.
When you're against T1 and you're ahead and you're trying to do Baron and then all of a sudden, like, you skip a step and then Owner steals it, you lose the game. You know, the 2 things they need to figure out is getting a strong early game and not crumbling under pressure.
Which really, really has leveled up across the course of the year.
Against the old G2 jungler, Yike, who had a pretty good series himself, a couple of good smite steals, did a good job. KC, they'll hang their heads for a moment, but then they have to reset and get ready for the rest of playoffs. For G2, a little bit of a break. They make it to Madrid, and we'll see who their opposition are, because currently the chase is on. You've got KC, MKOI, Fnatic playing up against MKOI tomorrow. Obviously going to be a great series. Really looking forward to that one. And I think actually
I'm not going to be doing LTH yet. I'm going to listen to the interview and then I'm going to piece it.
Swept Fnatic. Like,
and I'll be back tomorrow with LPL playoffs and LEC KOI versus Fnatic.
Top of their side, so it's like, oh, G2 just the best, and Fnatic are kind of equivalent to KC. Are Fnatic worse than KC and MKOI? We'll find out tomorrow.
And I'm really glad that we do have
tomorrow
LPL
playoffs. I think is AL and
KC and G2 contesting with them. Gives us really
top
comprehensive,
esports.
really cool cinematic series upcoming.
Yeah, it really does. We're going to hand it over to Law, who is standing by with BB. Okay, take it away, Law.
Thank you so much, guys. Not only BB,
We're playing versus Weibo and Nip.
but the
I think I'm not going to be awake for the AL series, but I'll be awake for the test series probably.
Post-game check-in with Topfather. Thank you so much for joining me. How do you feel after this one?
Feel very great. Back to Worlds, back to where we belong.
We'll talk about Worlds a bit later because I want to grill you
1,
on
2,
that
3,
a bit,
3, 2,
especially
1.
given
The password of the lobbies.
international events. First things first, Sion, last game into Jace. Maybe a risky champion? What makes you confident that you could pull this one off?
Yeah, I mean, Sion is like very mechanically, like you need a lot of mechanics to play this champ.
Sure.
And also Kana just picked Jace into it, which was a bit weird. But I felt very happy about that. I think the last draft, shout out to all coaching staff, was very good. I was very confident, guys. Come on, you know. Like,
I mean, you're saying this, and And it makes sense because checking stats, you have 100% win rate on Sion this year. Who are you and what did you do with the Broken Blade? I used to know.
MSI was rough, I'm not gonna lie, but BB's definitely been getting better over the last few years.
Do I need to say anything more?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I want to know what they think about the Kled experiment in game 1, though.
Nothing.
Maybe
exactly.
a bit too much cooking in
EWC
the
was
kitchen
decent.
here, but yeah, right. No. For the memes, for the content. Wouldn't be a series for G2 if it wasn't for some content games. I was talking to Romain actually backstage, and for people who don't know this, BB is the one giving the pep talks to the team ahead of the series.
Motivational speaker,
every time.
captain.
As the captain he is.
Exactly.
What was the talk today?
I can't share it. You know, it's private information. Might get out somewhere.
He said we're going KBBQ if we win.
I will tell you, I
Boom.
motivate them. You know, you guys know it. Yeah. You know? No, I usually think about what we need to do today. Also, keep in mind emotional level. Some say I have a very high emotional IQ. You guys don't know me personally, but the people who do, they say that. Especially a very dear person to me said this. So yeah, very, very, very happy with the pep talks.
All right.
I say speeches. I like it better.
Speeches. Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
It won't happen again.
I think the speech was good today. To be fair.
The speech sounded good. You guys won 3-1. That was pretty convincing.
Thank you.
So we're talking about making it to Worlds. Actually, maybe you can help me on something because at MSI, I know Caedrel had Tabe, Chovy, and Faker on his stream. Faker said that maybe we don't have the best generation of players. Chovy was saying that maybe we don't have the best draft. Tabe was saying that maybe we don't have the good enough discipline. I'm joking here because I can't believe my words saying this. But what do you think about all this? Is the region
I had
cooked?
to do some scouting to
The
fix
region
Europe.
is not cooked until it's cooked. You know, we always find out at the end of the year. But until then, as long as there's delusion, there's hope. Is what people say. Why are you guys laughing?
As long as there is delusion, there is hope.
Lulu is the Solulu.
Bro,
until you
that
guys make
just
it
needs to
Worlds.
be
Congrats on
the
making
story
it.
of Europe. In 100 years'
In
time,
Madrid as well.
that needs to be the
One more
summary
time.
of
Please
European
take it
League
to
of
me
Legends.
for Broken Blade.
They thought for 40 years they could do it. 40 years.
And I'm gonna send it over to G.
All right, chat. I'm a piece it. That was good. I like that ending. That was great. Chat, I'll be back tomorrow with Top Esports versus NIP playoffs. Doinb versus Tess. And then we're going to be doing Fnatic versus Koi as well. So LPL into LEC tomorrow. I'll see you there. Enjoy your day, night, morning, evening, wherever in the world. Take care, stay safe, stay well. I hope you enjoyed the co-streams. Shout out to the lurkers, bidders, gifters, chatters, subbers, donors, resubbers. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, chat. Bye.